Hey everyone, we're live, but we don't know what's going on with Michael. We don't was Michael,
Maybe he's talking. I don't know.
was he talking? Did you speak to him? I didn't hear. Anyway, welcome to Unleash, folks. It's Thursday. You know what time it is. You got me, Malcolm, and Michael somewhere there. hopefully, hopefully we'll get him back into
3 o'clock.
wherever he's hiding there. I like the way he put the Vanity Fair cover that, with the shot.
That's a nice
But
cover.
yeah, but anyway,
He's
welcome
getting the
everybody.
falafel. That's what
Yeah,
he's
it's
doing.
probably. Well, welcome everybody. We got a lot to go over. There's a lot of things happening. But before I guess, we do a rundown, I wanted, while we're waiting for Michael, I want to talk a little bit about what we were talking about offline about you had your live yesterday. I couldn't make it, unfortunately, because it was my anniversary. But it was a big success. You were talking about some great ideas. I mean, listen, it's a start. Because ideas and start blowing it up and start putting things to motion, things that we're working behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And we're going to start combining all of this things, because I mean, from the one thing I could tell you is from what we saw happen and transpire the day before yesterday with the elections. Was it yesterday? I'm already confused. I don't know what day it was. It was the day before yesterday. It was on Tuesday.
Yeah, day before.
Well, we saw the way it wasn't the point, folks, that that the Democrats just swept and won all the major election. What you're not hearing about is how the Democrats won some really, really major elections, like from Supreme Courts in Pennsylvania to state election board positions in Georgia, positions that were held by Republicans for over 20 years, and Democrats came out and beat them in Georgia, beat out the incumbents, and they beat them out by big numbers. So one of the things that me and Malcolm and Michael always talk about, and the one thing we say is that was great. Just like when we had no kings, it was great. We had over 7 million people came out and everybody said, but what we need to do now is keep it going. Keep it going. Keep the action going. And that's what Malcolm was doing yesterday. He was holding a forum for paid subscribers to throw ideas basically throw shit at the wall, see what sticks, and how we're going to go and dismantle Project 2025 and install our own ideas. And what did you want to call it, Malcolm? Project 2026 or what? What's it? What were you?
I say 2027, but we're going to come up with a cool name. Right now, what we came up with was that, John Leguizamo about 4 months ago did a rant where he said, where's our Project 2025? Where is our declaration of who we are, what we believe in, and what we will commit to when we take back Congress and the presidency in 2028? So, I took that on board. You guys know I run FAFOPAC. That's FAFOPAC.org, place that you can participate and support. But FAFOPAC's concept was we need to have a conference. We need to have an assembly where all of us can get together like the way the Republicans run CPAC.
Yep.
And for 3 days, have a convention. Because as of right now, that convention is only being run by Republicans. They strategize all the time.
Absolutely.
We don't. And we are, we've got influencers who have their own little silos, who don't come out and support other influencers. This is a chance for us to get together in what I call CONTAC, CONTAC. All right. Congress of the American Crisis, because we are in the crisis that Tom Paine wrote about in 1774. But it's a new American crisis. And the one thing we don't have done, we don't have a damn thing of what we believe written down. And one thing that we discovered in our discussion with Cliff Schechter yesterday was that you can't wait for the Democratic Party to do this for you. They are not there. This is not their job.
This is our
We
fight.
have to create our own platform, our own Project 2025, then hold their feet to the fire and make them embrace it.
Absolutely.
So that's what I propose. So we actually got for an hour and 20 minutes. We took down everybody's great ideas. We had some good ones there too, like banning all use of Bitcoin in government, clawing back and seizing back every dollar Donald Trump took from government in Bitcoin, outlaw the government practice of government officials above the rank of GS-15 of having any investments whatsoever, and seizing some resources like national assets, like, I don't know, SpaceX and other organizations. And another great one, that there must be an AMA board certified career doctor at the head of national, the HHS, and that the
That should
CDC, we
be
should hire back everybody, and give them 4 years back pay.
take care of everybody. I mean, basically take Project 2025 and
Good one.
reverse it, fine tune it, and make it work for
Flip it on
people.
its head.
Flip it upside down. I'm with you 100% there, brother.
We actually came up with a very cool phrase yesterday that came from Cliff Schechter, which is restore, reform, reimagine. The 3 R's of a future government, where some organizations like DHS needs to be eliminated, rebuilt from the ground up, smaller and better. And I said this with Miles Taylor. I had Miles Taylor on my podcast, so as well, that you have to eliminate ICE as a paramilitary police force, decertify all of them as federal law enforcement officers, so that they no longer have the right. Right now, if you join ICE, you have the right to carry a concealed carry weapons permit and buy fully automatic weapons for the rest of your life as a former law enforcement officer, and to carry them. So ICE could become a shadow paramilitary police if we don't decertify them, go back and re-scrub every one of them. And then here's one of my best recommendations someone made: pass legislation that allows them to be personally sued for every illegal detention that they made.
Exactly. Accountability. If they knew that there was accountability, they wouldn't be acting.
It's like, oh, you wanted to do this job?
Exactly. That you're going to have.
You're right. So anyway, we came up with dozens of great ideas, and I've written them all down. And next week we're going to do it again. And I read every one of the comments, and we write down the good ideas. And I think it's important that, that I can't bring this out to 100,000 followers, right? It would be crazy. But with paid subscribers are the most committed activists we have, right? People who are on here. So, you can have your say, and we're going to do this and turn it into a real document.
Let's cross-pollinate this. If you have time tomorrow, let's do it for my paid subscribers also. Let's get them involved tomorrow. Let's do a quick Friday. You'll bring all the ideas. Some of our paid subscribers they'll be joining in and try to do a bigger one and get some more ideas. For those of you that are asking, I see a lot of you are asking, where's the website? Where can we? That's what we're doing right now, folks. This is Malcolm. I mean, this is literally, we're putting pen to paper. Malcolm came up with this idea while we were last week on our Unleashed. He's already held what's it called, live with some of you that have participated. So we already have some ideas. We're sharing them with you right now. Tomorrow we're gonna do another one. We'll do it on my live, so this way we could cross pollinate all you paid subscribers. So this way you guys all could participate. And then hopefully we get Michael back any second, and then maybe we could do Michael's on Saturday. I don't know.
Yeah.
But let's because I forgot Michael's here for a second. I'm watching, where's Michael? Where's Waldo? Michael, come back. But he's having a crazy day. I know today he's running all over the place. It's like one of those days. But we have a lot of other great news to folks to just share with you.
Somebody wrote that ICE is like Trump's. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Let's hear what you got.
What I was, I've been working also with some people behind the scenes, and we're gonna take Unleashed. Actually, we're gonna take it and expand it, and there's a group that is going to help us really put together. Let us take it on the road, and let us really do what we need to do in some of these red states. So we're gonna get, which we'll speak about later offline a little bit. We started a little bit before I was giving you a little up to speed on some of the stuff that's going on with that. But folks, the bottom line is, as you can see, is we are all right now working aggressively to start action. We're not talking anymore. If you
Yeah.
for those of you that
Right.
are following us, reading our Substacks, we told you we are no longer just warning. Yes, we're still writing the Substacks. We're still doing the lives. We're still giving you the warnings and the updates. But we are no longer depending on the Democratic leadership. We are no longer depending on these make believe billionaires or foundations or 501c3s or organizations that are going to come out and join and support. We are no longer doing that. We are now putting pen to paper, like Malcolm said. We're doing action. We're collectively working, because everything you hear that Malcolm's doing, I'm doing. When we get Michael on, he'll tell us some of the things he's up to. Eventually, the game plan is we're going to unite all of this, because our plan is unification, bringing all of these people together, making this message strong, powerful, not just to do another side set. And that's why some of these people that, like Miles Taylor and others, that currently even have their own things that they're setting up, eventually, trust me when I tell you, they're all going to come and join our message, because what we're doing
Funny
here.
you should mention Miles
Go ahead.
Taylor.
I know Miles very
Okay,
well.
so if you go on my Substack later today, you will have my interview for the Black Man Spy podcast with Miles Taylor that I did on yesterday. And Miles has a new group that he calls what is
Defiance.
it?
Defiance.
Defiance.org. Defiance. And it's a great idea, but I got into the details of it with him. And what he's doing is he's creating essentially a small resistance group clearinghouse. He himself says he is not taking charge. He is not trying to give guidance to the resistance. His action is to help smaller groups get their voice heard and get some crowdfunding to them. So for a lot of people jumped onto it right away and were like, whoa, here it is, Defiance. They're going to be the leaders of the resistance. No, they're not.
Thank you.
And we said this many times before, we have to be our own leadership in the resistance. But what I told him, and he says he's on board too, is we must get together in one place, have that conference, fly yourself there. We're not going to be if we get I said we're going to have to raise $250,000 just for the venue, right? And we can do that. I've seen crowdfunding happen in a matter of days. But we'll get a place in Philadelphia near Independence Hall. And what we will do is we will invite people to come and speak. Gavin Newsom, Mamdani, Joe Walsh, everybody. And they will bring themselves there. No one is going to be paying them to come. Right? And we're going to organize a national there. We will have the outline of our version of Project 2025 or 2027, because we have to implement it in 2027 after we win the House. But we should have it written and get commitments during the 2026 election campaign.
Not only that, Malcolm, I want to take it a step further. Is I think some of the races in 2026 need to be run on that platform, and I think if we act quick enough, and I think we need to launch in 2026, because 2026 is the most important election to be able to get to 2027, and I think there's going to be a lot of races, especially some of them might be close races in purple states and even some red states that we want to flip, because not all. This is a very important fact, folks. Not all Republicans are part of the Project 2025 and stand for 2025 also. This wasn't like a whole thing. This was a certain inside group from the Federalist Society that turned in with the MAGA enforcement that basically took over.
Yeah.
The Heritage Foundation, exactly. So that's why it's important for everybody right now. A lot of everybody saying, "Where can we go? What can we do?" The first thing each and every one of you should be doing right now, if you have not yet subscribed to either one of the three of us, hit that purple, that whatever color button
Gray
it is,
button up
the
at
gray
top
button
with
up
our
top,
names.
and cross pollinate. Go ahead and make sure you subscribe. For those of you that are
Yeah.
already subscribers, if you can, to now, if you've been thinking about it, now is the time to stop thinking and becoming action. Become paid subscribers. Not only are you going to start joining our community where you're going to be able to be part of the actual drawing up of the history of the acting of what we're putting together, but also you will be supporting our voices and giving us a platform to be able to continue the fight. So it's extremely
Yeah.
important for you to understand that. And the other
I
most
got to tell you,
important, yeah, go ahead, brother.
no, go ahead. I
No,
want to
I'm
hear
just
your
saying,
last.
to spread the message, to make sure to,
Spread
to
the
go out
message.
there and bring as many people as you can to keep growing and growing and growing. Go ahead, Malcolm.
And some of you have a disproportionate influence. There's a lady on here now called Mother of Yorkies, and she was the first one to comment yesterday. And she said, I hope that this document is a declaration of who we are and what we believe, and that we list out what we're going to do and what we're going to go back to. And I was like, well, this session's done. She had the whole thing summarized right there. And, and of course, I wrote everything down. Somebody asked earlier, what schedule do I have on it? I put out my Malcolm Nance is going live schedule. So if you're subscribed to me, again, if you haven't learned this trick of pressing the gray button with our scrolling names across the top, if you touch that, then all three of our subscribe buttons come up down below and you can subscribe to that. However, you have to be a paid subscriber, be part of the commentary. Today we're discussing it out in public, but the reason we do this is there are spies and there are very negative activists. I have from right-wing news organizations. I have guys that I know are just right-wing vet bro assholes who have this whole Malcolm Nance file going. They're subscribers to my Substack, but
Oh,
they're not going to pay $7 a month just to come and watch my comments, right? So people who are paid subscribers have this privilege, and we are going to put up a working document that you can see what we've done each week as we fill it out. And as we make our declaratory statements of what we, the national resistance, hope that we're going to not hope that we are going to hold our politicians' feet to the fire. So if you're on Substack Live, if you're on this anyway, you'll see it.
Yeah, and one of the places we're going to be going and we're going to be making a major presence is Washington, D.C. So you're going to see these three faces in D.C. Confronting these people and holding their feet to the fire and holding accountability. And I want to do a quick shout out to our brother in arms. I see he joined us here, Alexander from Ukraine. Alexander, shout out to you. Incredible work that you're doing. God bless you. He's been on the road for the past week, delivering aid. But not only that, hey, Michael, you look beautiful. Look at
Well,
you.
thank you. Actually, I apologize.
Yeah,
I was
you're all
just
sexy.
I was just speaking with a class at USC. When a little bit over, they have what a bunch of bright young students, a bunch of bright young minds. They had more questions than I expected, and so it went a few minutes over. I apologize. It's why I put the two of you up, because I don't want to disappoint our community here for obvious reasons. I was somewhat listening to you as well as listening to the questions. So I am kind of caught up. There's so much that we need to talk about as a community. So much that's happening every single day, whether it's the ultimate determination by the Supreme Court, whether it's going to be these ongoing continuous strikes on these vessels. Now I think we're up to 16, according to Pete Hegseth. You're talking about loss of jobs in October to the tune of about 100,000, where 50% of that loss is by government determined cuts. Many of you might also be part of that. I'm very, very angry at what's happening right now. I was losing a lot of faith. Lev and I spoke about this yesterday in private. I was disappointed. However, I now have like a second wind, like a marathon runner. I have a second wind because let me tell you what I saw from Tuesday. I do see a referendum. I wrote about it, as I know you guys did as well in your Substack. How could you not? I see a referendum taking place right now in America where even though the amounts of lies that are coming out of this administration, you can't lie to somebody about their hunger. You can't lie to somebody about the cost of their groceries. You can't lie to somebody about the cost of their medication, their prescription, their visits to the doctors. You can't lie to somebody who, like myself, just got a letter about 3 weeks ago in the mail from from my health carrier telling me that as of February 1, there's a 25% increase in my premium. And I don't care how many times this administration, how many times the president sitting back, slouching in his chair there in the Oval Office while you have Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk's CEOs there. I don't care how many times you can tell me that I'm doing better today. I know the truth because I know my expenses, as do each and every one of you. You're right, Karen. Facts are facts are facts. And that's why this community is so vital. It's so vital to what happens in 2026. Because again, if we are not successful in ensuring that either the House, the Senate, or both return to Democratic control, I'm not sure that the democracy that we even have today, if we can even call it that anymore, I'm not sure that it continues.
Yeah.
No, 100%. I mean, but like the one thing I agree with you more than anything is what we saw on Tuesday. It was a spark. It was not only a referendum, but when you weren't here, we were talking about not even the big races like Virginia or what we saw happen in New York and New Jersey, but even the state races and the local races down ballot that happened down like in Georgia and other places where it really showed Mississippi and this Pennsylvania winning getting those 3 seats in the Supreme Court. So it was Trump. Put it to you this way: I wrote my letter that night. Trump did not sleep that night. Just so you guys understand, he did not sleep. He was on the phone. That he was up in the morning with the senators, a meeting with them. He was calling and begging them to go nuclear. What Trump wants them to do, and nuclear, not nuclear meaning is throw nuclear weapons, but he wants them to throw out the filibuster. He wants them to, right now, is pushing to be able to get rid of mail voting. I mean, the meetings.
That's crazy.
The meetings that he's been having and what he's been pushing directly to these congressmen and senators, and as he's doing some of it in the open. I mean, if you take a look at some of his remarks in the Oval, even, and some of the things that he said, but the things that I've been reporting on behind the scenes, I mean, he is really he blamed the shutdown. He said that's one of the reasons why they actually are losing it. He blamed that Republicans are doing bad messaging. I mean, he was losing it, like clearly losing it, and on the phone with all of them. So we rattled them. I mean, everyone, the voices, we rattled them. Tuesday was, but if we stop and if we let this momentum go, just like in anything else in life, folks, it's common sense. You gotta ride the wave.
Yeah.
When you have the wave, you have to ride it. We have the wave right now. That's why we're not waiting. That's why we're not waiting for no Democratic leadership. We're not waiting for these fantasy billionaires or leaders to come out. We're doing it here with you. This is a grassroots movement that we are doing together with some other people that are like-minded like ourselves that want to save this democracy, that are joining together, and we're doing it every day. So every day, those of you, make sure to subscribe, because you're going to be getting updates every day on the new things that's happening, where we're going, what we're doing, who we're debating, where we're debating, because the things that we have in line and the things we're planning on doing, trust me when I tell you, this community, this family is going to be part of something bigger than what you saw in the Joe Rogans or the Benny Johnsons or whoever you want to, whoever they're big, you want to.
You know why it's going to be bigger and better? It's going to be bigger and better because we have truth on our side. And you know what? It's the one thing that you cannot fight with, and that's truth. Because ultimately, and believe me, Lev and I know this firsthand, ultimately the truth comes out. And when the truth comes out, especially to those who turned around and were spewing the lies, it's not about being embarrassing. It's not about embarrassing them. It's about accepting them for their mistake, making them acknowledge their mistake. The accountability portion is extremely important. And then bring them back into the fold. I don't want any of them to switch their party affiliations. What I want them to acknowledge that those Republican candidates are the same ones that have been lying to them now for the longest time. They are the same Republican candidates that said that the Democrats have a child sex ring operation that has international attachments to it, and that it was the Democrats that were basically the users of Epstein's Island and his services. I want to remind each and every one of you that the Democrats have continuously called for the release of those files, as have Malcolm, Lev, and I, every single day. Marjorie Taylor Greene is not pretending to be a Democrat, Omar.
Did you see her on CNN? I love it. The view.
She is not pretending to be a Democrat. She doesn't want to be a Democrat. What she wants is truth, because she, unlike so many others, is accepting accountability. She's acknowledged that she was wrong, and now she wants to see why she was wrong.
I don't know what she wants to see. She's a unique specimen with her boyfriend Brian. Meanwhile, sitting there, I could only imagine that household, folks. Let's take a little side, just relax for 2 seconds and think about Brian, the guy that you see in the Oval asking the president questions, not questions, but setting up, saying, "Hey, President Trump, I've heard from the pilots today that you're doing the best job in the world, and they're telling me, Brian, this is the type of shit that goes on in the Oval. This is her boyfriend. Meanwhile, she is now, trust me, she is on Trump's shit list, but she is on a tour, on a Democratic tour of all places. The View, CNN.
And you know what? But by the way, I'm so sorry, but a lot of people are saying, I don't trust her. A broken clock is right twice a day, and so on. Let me be crystal clear about something. Right now, the House is controlled, as you all know, by the Republicans. Let me also turn around and say, thanks to people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, thanks to people like her, once Adelita Grijalva gets sworn in, we have the 218. So it's not as if she's talking the talk. Look, I'm not a fan of hers. I don't agree with about 90% of the things that come out of her mouth. But I do turn around and say, I applaud her for standing up for doing what's right. What every single Republican candidate, what every single politician, Republican, Democrat, and Independent alike, should be calling for: the immediate and unredacted release of those files. Plain and simple. She's actually doing it. And for that, let's not kick her entirely in the ass all the way up and down the street. So
No.
I'm not here to praise her.
No,
I'm here to acknowledge that what she's doing is the right thing.
Michael, you gotta be careful. Have you seen her lately in her workouts? I don't know whose ass she be kick. I mean, she might kick your ass. Kick her ass.
Highly doubtful. Highly doubtful. But,
I don't know. She's doing CrossFit.
No, she's doing some serious workouts. I don't know if this is. I'm joking, but no. But I agree with you. Listen, and that's we talk about that from day one.
Who would have thought Neanderthals had so much integrity DNA?
But we have to always accept, we can't turn on the other side. And listen, again, we might not agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene's policy. We might not agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Hold on a second. I got this.
Yeah.
Lev, what are you doing? Selfies?
Oh no, my phone is like.
Malcolm, go ahead.
People are calling him.
Take over.
Yeah, I agree with what he's saying. Let me give you my 2 cents here. Okay, everyone has a subject that they will get stuck in their craw, and in this one, she sees opportunity. Because, as you said, Mike, leading up to this, it was the Democrats are the party of pedophiles, partying with Jeffrey Epstein, and she made a lot of statements. A lot of Republicans made a lot of statements. She sees value in not flipping and letting the chips fall where they may. I think she also sees a blackmail path to Republican leadership. All right, if they can convince her to, go ahead and do the, what we call controlled opposition, and she keeps talking like this, she's going to talk her way to a real chairmanship, not this, piddly one that she's got.
She wants to run for the Senate. She wants. That's one of the reasons.
Well, that shit ain't happening. That's why she's on jihad.
But let's turn around and let's call it for what it is. Marjorie Taylor Greene, despite the fact that probably almost none of the 1,500 people that are with us right now agree with anything that she says. Well, I shouldn't say anything. Almost anything. In her district, she is wildly popular. Nobody even wants to run against her because it's basically an ass feeding. She gets, believe it or not, higher numbers than virtually any other Congress member. Her victories, percentage-wise, are on the higher side. Can she now run stateside? Would she end up out of her district having that same? I don't know the answer to it, but I will tell you one thing. Her attacking the administration, attacking also Mike Johnson and other Republicans, that doesn't inure to her benefit as, for a campaign for Senate. Just remember that. It does not inure to her benefit. So again, while I don't agree with her, and I'm certainly not a cheerleader for her, I want to acknowledge that what she's doing is right. And I wish more Republicans were doing the same thing. And I can't wait for somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene on day number 1 when they reopen up that House. By the way, I heard from someone on the inside, Lev, and Malcolm, that they're actually talking about keeping the House closed until January 1.
Are you shitting me?
No, Michael's right. Yeah.
No, I heard it from a source of mine, and I'm going to tell you something. I'm sick to my stomach over it.
Yeah. I believe it. I didn't hear that, Michael, but I believe because I spoke about it yesterday. One of the things is when they were making the decision of giving the SNAP fund, the SNAP benefits, when the judge ordered them to give it, Trump came out, as those of you that know, came out and said that he's only doing half. The reasoning because of it is that because if they would have given all the benefits, people would have forgotten the pain and suffering and moved on. So they gave just enough to be able to use it as a marketing campaign that they've done more than the Democrats and they did something, but at the same time, it's that, Stephen Miller fought behind the scenes, pushing it, saying that they still need to feel the pain and not forget the suffering. And now what Michael's reporting on, saying that
This
they're
isn't
planning on
working.
keeping it, I believe it 100%. Quick, I just want to do another quick shout out to, we have another patriot here. We have plenty of them. God, I see here, and others, but really
Oh,
American
God's
joined
here.
us. God's here with us. Well, God's
God,
everywhere with us. So God
God's
bless
fucking
them.
funny.
God is good. You guys
God's
do it.
Twitter feed is
It
hilarious.
is hilarious. I had God on my Mea Culpa podcast. It actually broke a whole bunch of records. I think we had over 600,000
God,
views on it.
I feel jealous. Me and you're the only ones that didn't do a live. We should do a live.
Wow.
But that, shout out to
Yeah,
God. Shout
God
out to
told me.
really American. Another
In
patriot.
fact,
Justin
I
Horowitz.
asked this question that I just brought up about keeping the
Hey,
house
Cheyenne, we see you.
closed until after New Year's. I interviewed for my
What is
podcast
the?
that's coming live tomorrow on Friday. I interviewed Congressman Steve Cohen from Tennessee, and I asked him that question.
Right.
That comes out on Monday, by the way. And I asked him that question. You'd be shocked what his answer is. It does not negate the comments that I'm making. And this is the guy who sits on the Intelligence Committee. This is not, wait till you hear some of the things, Malcolm, that he turns around and talks about, because it's right up your alley in regard to intelligence. The fact that they
Oh my
are
God.
not providing them with certain information. Again, he goes very deep into it. It's a fantastic conversation. And I ask those poignant questions. I'm not shy to ask.
Listen, the fact even that the Republicans are coming out and saying you can't just share pertinent information with us, you need to share it with the Democrat. I mean, folks, he just basically turned the White House into Mar-a-Lago, having morning coffee and chats with just Republican senators, just Republican, giving them updates on what's going on in Venezuela, and literally just disregarding like the Democrat. Like, we don't have even no rules of laws. We don't have a constitution. We have forget about the respect and the decency. Just think about the shit that he's doing that is just in your face. And the great part about it is the people are seeing it. The people are seeing it, and that's why, again, I'm going to circle back to it. What we saw Tuesday was just the beginning, and what we're going to continue, and what we're going to push, and what we're going to break up this Project 2025. And this is so important, folks, because we're going to stick it in their face. We're going to dissect it. We're going to break it up, and we're going to put together our own plan of action, whatever it's going to be, either Project 2026, Project 2028, whatever the name is going to be. Maybe we'll vote on it. Maybe we'll put out there and you guys vote on what the name of the project should be, but we're going to put it out there, and we are not going to wait for no more leadership. We're going to do it, because with each and every one of you. And that's why right now we got like 1,500 people. Those of you that joined late, we're going to do it. I need you to do it right now. Go hit that. Those of you that are not right now, currently subscribe to one of us or both of us or three of us. Cross-pollination. Go up there right now, hit that gray button, and make sure you subscribe. Subscriptions are free. I'm going to keep saying it over and over.
Yep.
The purpose of this platform is to bring information. Yes, we make it funny. Yes, we make it exciting. Yes, we are unleashed, and sometimes we are unhinged. But the purpose, the main reason, is still to give you information that you will get nowhere else. Not on CNN, NBC, Fox, or any of the channels out there, because they report the stuff that we break, because we are true insiders. You have two convicts and a spy. Just think about it. Two guys that went to prison for Donald Trump, and one guy that served our country as a spy for 40 years. Where are you going to fucking get a better crew than this? So if you don't subscribe, if you don't think $8 or $20 for the three of us is worth it, then I don't know what else out there could possibly be more important than to get the information from us through here. So go do that right now. And also, like I said, shout out to, I want to say, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to talk. I do have another question that cuts to what Michael was saying. I know we hawk a lot on this program, but hey, if you want your opinion out there, you gotta get out there and give your opinion. Michael, what is the logic behind keeping the house closed throughout the holidays and creating this massive wave of pain with the
It's a great.
American
It's
people. What do they
truly.
think they're winning?
So
Hey.
the answer to that is yes. Lev can attest to the
They
point
think
that
they're
I'm going to
winning?
now make. Trump is receiving some of the worst advice from the enablers that are around him. You know, it's like the arsonist complaining about the sprinkler system. They are telling him, Mr. President, do not capitulate, do not fold, keep doing what you're doing. You are winning. And he's like, yeah. And then what does he do?
What?
He pulls out an article from Fox News, Newsmax, OAN, some right-wing blogger that says
John Solomon.
Americans
Ah,
overwhelmingly 3-1 acknowledge that this is a Schumer shutdown. And they feed him this bullshit. Now, God forbid the president himself should just take his phone, because he doesn't have a computer, take his phone and Google anything else that's out there, what other polls may be out there that shows how Americans feel about what's going on. No. Because then they also don't just give him one. They usually back it up with 2 or 3 different articles, again, written by ultra right-wing conspiracists, morons, and they give it to him.
Michael's 100% right,
mhm.
because that's
Wow.
how that's
Wow.
the bubble he lives in, and that's the scary part that we've been warning you guys for years now. What me and Michael both have been screaming and talking about is look who's around him now compared to look who was around him even before, because even
Also
before,
shit.
right? But right now you have people like Stephen Miller, you got Jason Miller, you got people names that you don't even know about. These people are doubling, triple down, because the way, if you know anything about Donald Trump, if they were to come up to him and tell him, hey, we made a mistake, this is wrong, this looks bad for you, they would be, how quickly would they be fired, Michael?
Faster than you could possibly imagine.
So nobody right there is that's why that's important for you to understand, because nobody right now cares about the country there. Nobody cares about the public, the people, right now people are worried about their own asses. People are worried about their own financial stability. People are worried about their own safety. And like just in any, take a look at like what happened
Mhm.
around Hitler, the same thing. They would lie him, feed him, because they were so deep into it already. They are scared that, if the truth comes out, the cards, because what is it at the end of the day? It's a house of cards. It's all full of shit. And if those cards start come down, it all falls down.
Yeah. It's funny because we're sitting here now, and again, we're on the precipice of so much craziness and chaos. It's why I constantly say, even like on my YouTube channel, we need to make sure that this bullshit stops. You now have the Supreme Court of the United States
Mhm.
having to rule on whether or not Trump's tariffs are legal or not. Imagine this. Imagine. Supreme Court, as I wrote in my Substack, I call my Substack this morning the Supreme Court versus the Tariff King. So just imagine for a quick second that they rule that Article 1, which is Congress, has the power, and not Article 2, not the executive branch. Imagine what happens now to all of the lies on the $28 trillion that he claims is sitting on the tariff shelf. Which, by the way, it's another topic that I discussed with Congressman Steve Cohen. And again, I now have coming up on Monday or so, I'm going to be speaking with Congressman Jamie Raskin about similar issues. But what happens to all the money that people had paid in already that they should not have? What happens to these countries that are sitting back and saying, you know what? let's not speak, let's not do anything. We need to sit and wait until the Supreme Court ultimately rules. I start out my Substack by saying there's a special kind of arrogance in watching Donald Trump and his enablers pound the podium, sneering at economists and insisting that foreign countries are paying the tariffs. He says it with that New York swagger, that delusional conviction that the world should just believe him because he said it. And now I'm going to say something that every single one of you who follows me for more than a day have heard me say. Here's the reality. Tariffs are taxes, and consumers pay tariffs. Period. End of story.
Right.
And you get that Substack post for free.
And I can tell you, I mean, not only the tariffs are crazy, but right now while you were talking, CNN is talking about, and you can't make this shit up, that Nick Fuentes right now is, and Tucker Carlson and Laura Loomer are turning MAGA and the GOP upside down. I love it. A white nationalist supremacist, folks.
No, they're just going to their roots.
It's incredible what
They're not turning them upside down. They're just going to what they really are. They're letting their stuff out. I read an article today that one of the top members of the Knesset in Israel is very upset with the Heritage Foundation and all these other groups because they said that they may have made the wrong bet on MAGA and that MAGA is inherently anti-Semitic, and it's finally coming out because they think they own Israel.
Yep.
And I can't wait to see that bite them in the ass, by tying the itching.
I'm sorry. I think we lost Malcolm. What were you saying, love?
Yeah, I think he froze it. Malcolm, you good?
Malcolm froze.
Yeah.
No, I was saying, this is.
I froze up, but I was just saying that, the Israelis are already starting to have regrets. MAGA's true nature of being anti-Semitic is coming out with its top influencers. Even Laura Loomer, isn't she Jewish? She's a nut, and she will jump right on that bandwagon.
They went after Laura Loomer. So Tucker Carlson had Roger Stone on. So Tucker Carlson went full anti-Semitic, had Roger Stone on. Laura Loomer jumped in, and her and Roger Stone goes full anti-Semitic on Laura Loomer, telling her that she needs psychiatric help. And I mean, the shit that's going on right now, and Candace Owens is running the show.
She's crazy.
She's totally loaded. They literally right now, because you don't hear about it, the media won't talk about it, but MAGA and is under right now full blown.
Which is so crazy because
they try to say Israel assassinated Charlie Kirk. I want you to.
You know what's crazy? Because Candace Owens, over about 20 years ago, had break fast after Yom Kippur at my sister's house because she was dating a Jewish guy who was friendly, and she was friendly with my niece at the time. I mean, and she actually truly loved the entire thing about it. I don't think Candace Owens is an anti-Semite. I don't think so. I just think that she has gotten so knee deep into her own lies because it's really paying the bills, that I think that she's actually, like so many of them, that they are all full of shit, that they're doing it. You cannot tell me that Jesse Waters believes, or Greg Gutfeld believes, half the shit that comes out of their mouths. I don't think so. Or even Sean Hannity. Listen, I've had conversations years ago with Hannity where he acknowledged, listen, sometimes I have to say things because that's my audience.
100%. Yeah. But they all said it. I mean, I remember that even going back when we were there in Fox and CNN, all of them. But But you know what? I think it's got deeper than that, little Mike. I think especially with Candace Owens, I think at some point in mind, but she's lost it completely. I mean, her and others. I mean, there's a real anti-Semitic movement that's taking place right now. That's and the crazy part. And I was speaking with another patriot and hero that's fighting with us, really American, just offline. We were talking about, and we were saying how that even some of the far right anti-Semitic are connecting to the far left anti-Semitic to even join forces behind the scenes to make it a push.
Of course.
On,
Of
I
course
mean,
you.
Chris, and it's become such a dangerous and hard topic that they've turned people, where you can't even, it's difficult to talk about, because once you mention either Israel or right away it's like becomes very, very touchy, and you have to be careful. But folks, we're telling you because we're not scared of any of them. So we're letting you know, understand that this is what's going on. The anti-Semitic roots of the MAGA party, which we told you, this is what Trump tapped into. This was the group of people, that silent vote that didn't come out to vote because they were far right silent. This is who Trump tapped into, and now this is what you're seeing now come out and play with their ugly hands, ugly faces.
Yeah. Well, let me turn around and thank each and every one of you. This is now we're getting there. A little over 1,600 something. I can never tell the number. I know Lev has the
That's pretty
ability
good.
to. Thank you all for joining us. I want to just reiterate what Lev said earlier. Please go to that Chiron. It's as simple as hitting that Chiron button. Subscribe to Malcolm, subscribe to Lev, subscribe to my show here. Cross-pollinate between us, because Lev's right. You're never going to get a more raw and unfiltered, unleashed conversation, which is based on facts. No innuendo, nothing but facts. And that's really important, because each and every one of us is going to have an obligation, every single one of us, to ensure that as we go to the streets, as we speak to these individuals, these MAGA morons, or those that are just misinformed, we need to have the facts so that we could prove them wrong, so that we can get them to understand that they are being led off the side of a cliff to their own demise. That's our job. That's our goal. And with you, we're going to get there. Lev, take us out.
Absolutely, folks. We talk about it, we say about it, we write about it. Enough is enough. No more talking. Action. This is what it's all about. And today, the first action is becoming regular subscribers. It's free. It's easy. You press a button, you're there. That puts you in the game. Now you're getting information. Now you could go past that information out. Now you're doing something to save our democracy. For those of you that could go the extra mile and become paid subscribers, you're our backbone. You allow us to continue doing what we're doing, because we don't have any other jobs. We don't have any billionaires or these media sponsors supporting us in the mission to save our democracy. It's you, and together we're doing it. And soon we will be giving you other stuff that's coming out. We're not sitting, like you heard in the beginning. Malcolm's got things working behind the scenes. I'm working on things behind the scenes. Michael is. We are going to combine. The part of it is putting it all together and then coming out with such a strong voice, where it's not a wave anymore, folks. This tsunami, this blue tsunami that we are going to push, we're going to wipe out MAGA, and we know how to do it. Because remember, we're not just some pundits or reporters. We were part of that. Michael was there 14 years. I was there 4 years. Malcolm served this country for 40 years. The information we're giving you, nowhere else. So please subscribe, support, and stay tuned, because we have a lot more coming, and we're going to be asking you for a lot more to come join and come out and be loud and heard. So this is just the beginning. We're just getting started. And 2026 is going to be a day where I think November 5th, 2026, we're finally going to all be able to a little bit take a deep breath and say, you know what? All that hard work is coming to reflection, because that's going to be the first part of taking our democracy back. So thank you, folks.
Yeah. Thank you, Lev, Malcolm.
All right, guys.
Appreciate you both.
See you next week.
So let me also say this, because a bunch of you are turning around and asking me, oh, can I order from you Disloyal as well? The answer to that, unfortunately, is no. That just happens to be one of my copies that I have left over. I don't have those here. The only ones that I have about 280 books of the limited edition, The Signed Revenge. Again, if any of you want, if you haven't read it, you do need to read it. You absolutely need to read this book. It is the precursor to everything that's going on right here, right now. So if you want yours, DM me right here. That means go to my profile, hit the thing that looks like a paper airplane or a triangle. You can DM me, and I will tell you how you can get yours. Thank you all for joining us. Malcolm, Lev, myself, we are on a mission. We need you. We need you more than you could imagine. Help us to grow the community like we're doing right now. And with that, I say thank you and stay tuned.